Back here on SportsLine, phone line still open, 737-7767 if you would like to get in on the program tonight. Titans getting through day 3 of training camp, at least day 3 on the field, day 4 actually at the facility. One more day on the field tomorrow before getting an off day from practice on Wednesday. Then they're back at it Thursday, Friday, and in the stadium, in Nissan Stadium, Saturday night, kind of a dress rehearsal for the first preseason game, which is now a week from Saturday night against the Chargers. Ken Wisenhunt and the Chargers coming back to town. So that will be very interesting indeed. Over in Knoxville, Tennessee on the field tonight, probably wrapped up just a short time ago. First practice of fall camp for the Vols. Such high expectations for Tennessee this year. This is a team that went 9-4 last year. They were great down the stretch of the season. They blow out Northwestern 45-6 in the Outback Bowl. And they bring back 18 starters on offense and defense. 10 on that offensive unit that was so good at the end of the year. You got Josh Dobbs back. You've got 2 of the best running backs in the SEC and around the country in Jalen Hurd and Alvin Kamara. This is an offense that should be able to put up points, and it is a defense that under Bob Shoop, first-year defensive coordinator, should be much improved. Even better than it has been the past couple of years. There is a reason the expectations are where they are for Tennessee. They are the preseason favorites in the SEC East, and they should be. They've got the best quarterback easily in the division. They've got the best running back pair easily in the division. And I think they probably have the best defense in the division. This is a team that should win the SEC East and should compete in Atlanta against whoever wins the West for the opportunity to maybe get into the college football playoff. I have thought the last couple of years that the expectations for Tennessee were too soon, were too much too soon. I thought the program was going in the right direction and the talent had been upgraded. And last year, frankly, they probably had enough talent in the program, but they didn't have enough experience with that talent. And so when you heard people talk the last couple of years, people were saying, oh, this is the year that they win 8, or this is the year that they win 10, or whatever the case may be. And they probably haven't quite hit those expectations, maybe until the end of last year when they really got on a run. They probably came up just shy of those. But to me, that was less a team underperforming or not winning the games that they should win, and more about the maturation process of a program and recruiting and developing and getting these guys experiences so that they learn how to win. And then at some point you get there. A big part of college football when you're taking over a program that's down is getting the talent level up and competing. Just competing is the first step. The second step is learning how to win, and then the third step is winning. I think Butch Jones did a very good job early on of getting Tennessee to compete. I think the last couple of seasons, it was about learning how to win with these guys. And somewhere in the middle of last year, they might have figured it out. They might have figured out how to win. And now they come into this season, I think they know how to win. And they've got the talent. And they've got the compete level. And so there's no reason that Tennessee can't live up to the expectations that people have. This is a top 10 football team. This is a team that should win the SEC East. It is a team that should compete in Atlanta for the SEC championship. And if you do that, we all know you have a shot to play for it all. And what I love when I hear Tennessee players and when I hear Butch Jones talk, they talk about all those things. They talk about competing and working and learning how to win and all that. That's great. Understanding that is important. But the other thing I like, when people have brought up the expectations for this team this year, I get the sense that they embrace that. They're not shying away from the outside expectations of, oh, you said we're supposed to do this. Because the internal expectations now for this team, because they understand all those things, because they understand the compete level and the work ethic and everything that goes into being champions, they're okay talking about being champions now. And I think that is huge. When you embrace the pressure and you embrace the expectations because you expect that much of yourself, I think that is when a program can really flourish. And so I expect big things for Tennessee this year. I think this is the year they beat Florida. I think this is the year that they win the East. Frankly, the only game on the schedule in the East that gives me some level of trepidation is the game at Georgia. That is still going to be a very talented football team in a tough environment. But I think Tennessee's better. And you've got a new coach with the Bulldogs, and that game's still relatively early in the season. If you believe what the folks in Vegas say, the only game that that Tennessee is not favored to win right now is when Alabama comes to Knoxville. Only game on the schedule. Of the 12 games that are scheduled, Tennessee is now favored in 11 of them. And I think that's pretty accurate. And it wouldn't stun me if they can beat Alabama. Heck, they had the lead in the fourth quarter last year in Tuscaloosa. And this year they gave them at home. Tennessee, to me, is finally ready to play on the national level. And I love hearing the comments. Butch Jones today, players at SEC Media Day, they're embracing the outside expectations because the expectations for Team 120 are higher inside the building. And that's a good thing. 737-7767 is the number if you'd like to get on the program tonight. We've talked a little bit about Titans training camp day 3 today. A little bit of a sloppy practice, but they worked through it and they worked through the heat to get some things done. And there's 11 more padded practices to go throughout training camp. You got preseason games to work on this, so there's a lot of work left to be done. You can call in on the Titans. You can call in on Tennessee football. We got other teams hitting the fields this week in college football. Vanderbilt reporting tomorrow, I believe. They're going to have their media day tomorrow for sure. Western Kentucky later this week. Middle Tennessee tomorrow as well. Tennessee State will do it before long. You got a bunch of teams that hit the field this week, and it's amazing. I mean, we're now in the month of August 1st here. A month from now, we're playing for real. A month from now, we line it up for real on September 1st around the country with a bunch of those Thursday night games, including Tennessee at home and Vanderbilt with an SEC opener against South Carolina. We'll continue to talk football on the program tonight, 737-7767 if you want to chime in. We'll also hear from Mike Mularkey about practice today. He can talk about how it didn't start very well, maybe not completely unexpected, but it was unacceptable the way it started. But they brought it back together and got some things done later on in practice. We'll also take a look at John's and my storylines for training camp and have John's interview with Titans defensive backs coach Deshae Townsend, a guy who played for a long time in the NFL, joined the staff this year to be back working with his mentor and former coach in Dick LeBeau, and thinks that the Titans can do some things on the defensive side of the ball. All that's still to come here tonight. We are halfway through. Still much more to get to. This is SportsLine on News Channel 5+.